it is Bet
and Kai.
And we are here to share our experiences with the supernatural.
Yeah.
We've done a video of this before, but it got taken down because of copyright reasons, because of a song.
Yeah, a song
that
from
was
the
playing
background
on the radio.
that you could barely hear.
So that was annoying. We didn't even know the song was playing, but I guess we should have figured it out because
it took forever to upload.
Yeah. But anyway, we're back. We don't have the candle this time. We were going to try it, but we forgot a
lighter.
A lighter. And also to mention, we are in a different location right now.
We're in a duck pond.
Yeah.
Bethany
bed
almost fell in.
I almost did, actually. That's why we were...
Yeah. That's why we sat down.
Because I was almost falling into the duck pond. So... Okay. So we figured we'd just start.
Yeah, so... I always had something following me. It actually doesn't like to be left alone in my bedroom unless the TV's going. Like when I'm sleeping, I'll sleep with the movie on, and then once the movie's done, I'll suddenly wake up to something like going on in the background, and I'm like, oh. And then I'll just put on a different movie. It doesn't care what movie I put on, as long as it's a movie.
Seems to not like to be alone.
It doesn't like to be alone like your cat. I don't let my animals sleep with me. My family has 2 cats and a dog. I don't let them in my room. And a few months ago, actually, my shelving fell off my wall. All I heard was a bang, and my shelving came off the wall. It was held on by 2 screws at the bottom of the shelves, and everything was on the floor.
Ooh, creepy.
And I couldn't explain what happened. I tried explaining it to my mom, but she said, oh, you must have put something too heavy on it. That's not what I think. I think it's because I slept with my TV off for the first time in like a year or so since I've had the TV. And I think I upset it. But this one has been following me since I was young. I used to see little shadows following me that weren't mine. And I used to see like little things, like little monsters, I thought they were, when I was young, and I would have nightmares, and I would have to run down to my mom and dad's room when they were still together, and I ended up sleeping with them like 3 or 4 times a week. One time I was heading down the stairs, I thought I saw a monster in a figure in the clothing on the rail. And it looked so real. And then I turned and I looked back and it wasn't there anymore.
Chilling. I've had similar experiences though. When I was little, I lived in an old apartment building. It was made in probably 1940s, 30s. And it was, we actually did end up meeting the people who originally made it. And they even told us that there was really weird experiences when they were making it, and that things would happen during the construction, and things got paused because people were getting injured and there was no explanation. So we didn't learn that until after we had lived there for, oh gosh, a really long, at least 4 or 5 years, maybe more. It was most of my childhood I lived there. So it was a pretty big apartment. So there was I can't talk. There was a living room, and then a hallway, and then there was the kitchen, and then there was the 2 bedrooms. I was in one. The other one was like a playroom for me. That was until my sister moved in, but that's a completely different thing. Then my parents' room was in the living room. Well, not in the living room, but there was like another room across from the living room. Yeah. I wish we had taken pictures of it, but we can't get in there at the moment. Maybe in the future we will, and I'll try to show you what I'm talking about. But like I was saying, so we lived there for quite a while, and during my time there I would see certain things, such as shadows from the corner of my eye. My father would see them as well, so would my mother. There has been a few pictures even that I've taken. I may be able to find them before I post this, so I will try and add them to the video. One was, it was Halloween, and I was dressed as a ghosty witch or something. I don't even know what it was. But during one of the pictures we saw this little girl in the window, and she was dressed in red. And it was in our apartment, and we didn't have any little girls living besides me in that apartment at the time. So it didn't make sense. And then we also would see, so there was 3 ghosts, well, 3 spirits, not really trying to give them labels or anything, but there was a man in black, a woman in white, and a little girl in red. And they would roam through the halls of that apartment building. They would cause mischief. We started just calling them shadow people, and ever since then, they have seemed to follow us wherever we go. At least the man in black does, which, I mean, that guy was probably the one that gave me the most unease, because if anything, I feel like he might have been the source of my experiences in that place. There was one time when me and my cousin were playing downstairs, and we were playing, I know this is really stupid, we shouldn't have been even playing it, but we were playing ghosts and demons and everything, and within a couple minutes after we started playing and we were just having a good time, a fire broke out upstairs. And the lady who caused it, she never left her apartment building, but she wasn't in it. The inside door was locked and the chain was on, like was pulled, so there was no way she could have gotten out without escaping through the window. But by the time she would have been able to escape, everyone would have seen her. So it didn't make sense, but the fire actually started in her bathtub. She filled the bathtub with books, lighter fluid, and she just lit it. So we actually we never saw her again. So we're not sure what happened to her. I mean, maybe she was just freaking crazy. I don't know, but we never saw her again. And they had to rebuild that top apartment. And then after that, an elderly lady died. She died of a heart attack. So not entirely sure what happened there either. No one found her for like 4 days. So she was up there for quite a while. It's a pretty crappy apartment building, I guess. But yeah, no, it was really scary. And then when I was a little while before we started moving out, I would get pet in the middle of the night by some unknown object or some unknown thing. I would be sleeping, I'd be fine, I'd be happy. I would finally be able to sleep in my own bedroom, because for a really long time I wasn't able to because of all the presence that we felt in that apartment building entirely, like just the apartment building in itself. And even to this day, people still say that there are weird things happening in that apartment building. They've heard my name being whispered. So, and these people don't know me. They've never met me before. But my dad would go over there to talk to them, and they'd be like, do you have a daughter named Bethany? And they're like, and my dad would be like, yes, I do. And then they'd be like, well, we've heard her name. So I'm never going back to that place. But yeah.
And a side note, for the guy in black, he also wears a top hat usually, and he always wants something from you. He never leaves without getting it.